What's up guys, this is Faisal and today I'm going to start with the Cisco Packet Tracer. Cisco Packet Tracer is basically a network simulator for the people they're really interested into networking. It will allow you to practice networking and configure different routers and configure two or more than two different networks together using different protocols. So Cisco Packet Tracer, it's basically very good for the people who are really interested in taking the certifications like CCNA. So let's begin with the Cisco Packet Tracer. It's for the few people it's very hard to install Cisco Packet Tracer to their Mac operating system. If it's hard for you guys, just let me know. I will make a video on that as well. So let's start with the Cisco Packet Tracer. You guys will notice here in this Cisco Packet Tracer we have different sections and different things. Here, this part over here, this section we'll be using a lot. This section will allow us to drag and drop all of our network components like routers, switches, different connections and end devices over here. So whatever we need to create in our network, so we will use this section a lot. Here in this section is very useful as well. By the time we will working on our network, I will show you guys this is why we need this section. This section is very useful as well. So today the video will be working on we'll create two different networks by using a protocol called RIP. RIP is it's an abbreviation of Routing Information Protocol. So protocol is actually protocol is a set of rules and regulations. So we have a lot different types of protocols that we use to in our network. There's a RIP protocol, there's a RIP version 2 protocol, there are OSPF protocol, EIGRP protocol. So far we will use RIP protocol over here, which is the class 4. So let's begin with our creating a network. So we need two routers. We need to just click on the routers and drag and drop our routers on this white screen. Then we need two switches. Just click on here and click on this part and drag and drop first switch, second switch. Then we need two different end devices. It's up to you, you can put more than two as well. So let's click on here, this part, and drag and drop two end devices or nodes. Once we have all these devices over here on the white screen, we need connections to connect all this together. Let's start connecting these devices together. So here we can see we have a bunch of different kind of connections that we need to use, but if you are really new and you are confused, you have no idea which one to use over here, we should keep in mind most of the times we'll be using there's few cables a lot. Like for example, copper cross over cable, we will use copper straight through cable. We will use serial DTE cable, which is data control equipment, and we will use serial DCE cable, which is data sorry for my mistake. We'll use DCE, which is data control equipment, and we will use DTE, which is data transmission equipment. So what for this video I will use, we need to keep in mind, like if we are using two same devices on Cisco Packet Tracer on real life, we will use copper crossover. Or if the devices are different than each other, for example, if you're using connect router to switch, we will use copper straight through cable. Or if you're using two same kind of devices, for example, router to router, we will use copper crossover, or we will use serial DCE and serial DTE that I will explain in my next video. So far for this video, I will use copper crossover to connect two same kind of devices together. So once you selected the cable over here, you will select on the router, and we will select fast Ethernet 00 for our router 0, and then it's up to you. You can select any of the fast Ethernet. Then again click on the second router, and you can select again fast Ethernet 00 or 01. It's up to you, any of them. So now we have connected our two same kind of routers together. Now let's begin, start connecting router to switch and switch to the end devices. We'll use copper straight through cable because as I mentioned earlier, that if two different kind of devices we are connecting, we cannot use copper crossover. So I will click on the router. I will use another fast Ethernet 01, connect to the switch fast Ethernet 01. We can use any of these fast Ethernets, it's up to you. The second task, again we will start to use connect our switch fast Ethernet 02 to our end device fast Ethernet 0. The same step goes to the another network fast Ethernet 01 to the switch fast Ethernet 01. You can connect to 02 as well, 03 as well, it's not a problem, but it's up to you if you are network administrator how you will design your network. Again, we'll use fast Ethernet 02 to connect our another end device PC1. So far we have connected our two networks together, but these two networks are not going to work because to send a packet or a data from this network over here from end to another network to over here from source, let's say PC01 is the source, sorry for this, PC01 is the source and PC1 PC0 is the source and PC1 is the destination. We need some set of protocols in order to send our data over our network. So assume in this case I will use three different network IDs over here. First network ID I will use 10.10.10.1, which is class A slash I will use a default subnet mask for class A, which is 8. My mistake, sorry, it's 0 here. It's a network ID. You can put it here. This section over here, anything if you want to write something on our screen, so we will use this place note over here. So this is our second network where we will use class C 192.168.1.0 slash we will use default subnet mask, which is 24. Click over here. We need third network here where our IP address, our network ID will be 172.16.1.0. This is a class B IP network and our default subnet mask here is 16. So here I want to explain some of the things over here. We have three different networks. Whenever we want to design a network, we should know how many networks we will have. Based on that design, we need to get different networks IDs for them. So for example, here we have one network over here. This is the one network. This is our second network, and this is our third network. So each network needs one network ID and different IP addresses must be different from each other. Here you can see these red and green dots. These are our basically interfaces. We call them interfaces. So we have to assign an IP address for each interface. Let's say I will start begin to configure our router 0 from here. Let's say just single click, left click on it, and you should go. You will be seeing this part over here. Then we go to CLI. We will type. This is actually there are two ways to configure a router. Whether you want to go with the CLI, which is the program command mode, and whether you want to use the GUI, just click on the interfaces and make it work. So let's start for the beginning. I will go with the command mode where I will start with no. It means no. We have entered to the setup mode. Now we will start. I will write enable I wrote enable to came into the privilege executive mode. Now we need to go to the configuration mode in order to assign IP address. I will write configure terminal. Now as you can see, it's changing this sign over here, this sign over here, and now we are in the configuration mode. We are on this router. This is a router 0. So what I want to do, I want to assign an IP address for two interfaces. This is my one interface, fast Ethernet 00, and this is my another interface, which is fast Ethernet 01. I will start with my fast Ethernet 00. Start configuration. I have to select the interface first in the configuration mode in order to assign an IP address over there. So just select fast Ethernet 00. Sorry, I forgot. You have to write interface first. Interface fast Ethernet 00. This is our fast Ethernet interface, fast Ethernet 00. Just press enter. Now we can see that we are inside the interface, that fast Ethernet 00. Now we will assign for each interface the link is down, means like the data cannot be sent. So to make the link up, we will write no shutdown, press enter. The link is up now. Then we will assign IP address, IP address for fast Ethernet 00 over here is 10.10.10.1 with subnet mask 255.0.0.0. Press enter. Now we will exit from this interface, exit, and we'll go to another interface, which is fast Ethernet 01. We'll write interface fast Ethernet 01. Press enter. Sorry, it's 01. Now we are in the interface configuration mode. We'll assign as same as I mentioned earlier. We have to, the link is down, we need to make the link up. So for making the link up, we will write no shutdown. Press enter. Now the link is up, you can see it's turned green. Then we'll assign the IP address over here. IP address for this part is our IP address should be 172.16.1.1. This is our actually an IP address and default gateway address at the same time. I assign it for 1 because after that we can assign the 1 is already reserved for the default gateway. So as the class B, I need to write the subnet mask 255.255.0.0. enter. We are done with this interface. Close this one. Go to another router. Just click on it. Right, put it here. Same commands goes to this one. CLI. Press no. Enter. Enable. Configure terminal. Now here also we have two interfaces, fast Ethernet 00 and fast Ethernet 01. So I will start with the fast Ethernet 00. As we can see, our network ID is 10.10.10.0. So I will start interface fast Ethernet 00. Enter. Now we are in the interface configuration mode. Again, as I mentioned earlier, our link is down. For make it up, we will write no shutdown, enter, enter. The link is up right now. We can see it's turned green from red to green. We'll assign the IP address, IP address here for fast Ethernet 00 is 10.10.10.2 because one we already assigned to that side, and we'll write the subnet mask 255.0.0.0 because it's a class A IP address. Then we'll enter. We already assigned the IP address over here. Now we will exit from this interface and enter to interface fast Ethernet 01 over here, which is our default gateway as well. Interface fast Ethernet. Sorry, I made a mistake. I need to correct it. 01. Now we are interface fast Ethernet 01 configuration mode. Again, to make this link up, I will write no shutdown. Now we can see the link turn green over here. Again, I press enter. Now I'll assign the IP address, IP, which is this network 192.168.1.0. is the class C IP address. So I will write the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Enter. Sorry, I just wrote I forgot to put 1 over here. This is 1. Enter. So now we have assigned IP address on these interfaces. We have assigned IP address for these two interfaces, and we need to assign an IP address to our end devices. So let's just click on this left click on the end device. We need to go to the desktop, IP configuration, IP address 172.16.1.2. Press tab or click over here. It will the subnet mask will come default subnet mask. The gateway, as we assigned here, 172.16.1.1. So this is our IP address, and this is our default gateway that we assigned to over here. Close this one, and we'll assign IP address to this end device. Just click on the desktop, IP configuration, IP address 192.168.1.2. Press tab or just click over here. It will come automatically subnet mask if you don't know. Then default gateway 192.168.1.1. We are done with the configuration of this part. We are done with the configuration of we already assigned IP address for these end devices. We assign IP address to these two routers, but still, if you want to send a packet from PC 0 to PC 1, it will not reach because we didn't assign any routing protocol. So as I mentioned in the beginning that we will use in this video RIP protocol, which is routing information protocol. Just click on the router, enter, exit from this part. In the configuration mode, for applying routing RIP protocol, we should be in the configuration mode. We should write router RIP, press enter. Now we need to know how many networks are connected to this router. We have 2 networks are connected to this router, so we will write network, which is this one, 10.10.10.0. Make sure you will write the network ID, not the IP address. Enter. Then second network, 172.16.1.0. Again, is 0 means it's a network ID, not an IP address. Press enter. So now we told this router that there's the two networks are connected to this router. This is the one network over here, and this is another network over here. So again, we go to the router 1 and assign the routing protocol over here as well. So exit, go to the configuration mode, router rip, enter. Now we have to tell this router that how many networks are connected to this router. One is this network 10.10.0, second one is 192.168.1.0. So we need to write network 10.10.10.0, enter. Network 192.168.1.0, enter. So I can say we are almost done. We have assigned IP addresses to each device, we have assigned our routing protocol, and now it's time to check whether our network is sending packets to our network or not. So let's say this part over here, we have to click on this. If you want to ping, there's different techniques to ping your networks. This is the easy one, just click over here and click PC1. You can see this sign is a packet, and click PC0. Here, this part, sometimes it shows you it's not working, but you have to try. You see it's successful. Sometimes the simulator problem, it gives an error. You can try again, PC0 to PC1, successful. It means the packet is sent. Again, from PC1 to PC0, successful. It means PC1. It means the packet is sent. So this is it for the RIP protocol that we applied to our network. There are some techniques that I will show in this next video to, if you have some problems or the packet is not being sent, how to troubleshoot your network, how to check the links are up and down or IP addresses are okay. So that's it. If you didn't understand anything, you can leave a comment below. I will reply you. Thank you.